Cowabunga, cowabunga, my fellow.
Welcome to episode
Greta!
2. Welcome to episode 2 of Quote Unquote Artists. We have no format for these. Hi, I'm your host, Ale, and this is my partner.
Starrkiddo.
Okay, thank you very much. And we are joined by our two guests today. We're joined by Emilenator and Gooberthed. Please introduce yourselves.
So I am known as the Emilenator. I mostly draw cars. I'm currently working on an OC, but that's for later. I do traditional sketches. I don't work on digital, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
And Goober?
Right. My name is Greta, and I mainly specialize in 2D drawings, and I do a lot of digital and traditional art. I mainly draw characters and, normal stuff.
And Sonic.
And Sonic.
Yeah. So me and Star decided to have these two guests on today because we have a topic that could be handled by more than just us two. We're going to be talking about being an artist on the internet today. Now, I'm pretty sure we're all familiar with this, right? We're all like on the internet.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've never been on the internet before. What is this internet?
Yeah, what is the internet?
What is the internet?
God.
Yeah, it's scary.
It is a scary place. I heard there's 20-year-old on it.
The World Wide Web. Is that where you find the memes?
Is that the memes? The memes are so
You find the
popular.
memes. You
That was
find
memes.
We're just gonna
interesting
talk about...
things. You find sponsors you never wanted to find out about, and
Watch our podcast so we can be sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends.
Exactly. Everybody, smash that like button, hit the bell, subscribe.
Smash that like button, hit the bell,
I cannot be homeless.
get Wi-Fi anywhere you go.
Okay, we're not delving into that. But so social media for artists. How's that doing for all of you, huh?
Let's start with the pros, good
the
things
pros
that
of
come
being
out
on
of
the
being
internet.
an artist on the internet.
I think I could just start it off with a ball rolling here. The easiest one to say is exposure. Being online will let a lot of more people see your artwork than if you were in person, because you're not going to go around your neighborhood knocking on everyone's door being like, "Hey, I drew. Love me."
Absolutely.
Please like art.
Like on the internet, it seems a lot easier to find people who will just love your specific niche or lack of niche. Because if you're anything like me, you don't focus on a single thing. You kind of just draw what you want.
Absolutely.
Valid.
But I like the idea of just having people to interact with online through creation, because it's a surreal feeling, because in real life not everyone will be interested in what you're making, yet when you go online you meet people like, for example, all these 3 beautiful people we have in this VC with me who just love the same stuff as you and will be able to have an open discussion with you in a type of form that you wouldn't usually be able to. I think it's really nice.
I think that's cool. I in real life, if anybody asks me do you draw? I'm like, yes, maybe. But on the internet, I just post art and somebody's like, that's pretty cool, and I'm like, oh, thanks.
in real life, it seems a lot more daunting than it does on the online.
Well, because in real life, you can read people's mannerisms. They look at your art and they're like, oh, so you draw anime? Okay.
You could just hear the sigh from the next county.
They're like, hey, draw me. You draw anime? Can you draw me? Draw a flower.
Do you draw things for free?
But I think that one of the big pros of being an artist is, yes, I mean, as Ali said, exposure, but also having a very diverse audience.
That's true. That's absolutely true.
Just having all these different opinions and having all these people with a varying degree of knowledge can actually help you grow a lot as an artist.
It's because in traditional media, being real life, you're often not as exposed to different things and different points of view or different experiences that you can learn from, more so than you would be online, because online you're overstimulated by how many people could be interacting with your art. I follow an artist. He's a really good painter. Recently he got followed by Jim Lee, the famous DC artist.
Oh, damn.
Jim Lee just hopped into one of his Twitch streams once and just watched him paint for half an hour, and it was so surreal.
That's wild.
It's insane just how the reach that you can have compared to real life. Because
Yeah.
the internet is
Well,
part of real life, but it's a
yeah, it's like
different
a
world.
weird like subgenre of real life.
It's like it's like a subgenre of waking up.
Yeah, it's like a
Yeah.
different flavor. Like it's the same thing though, but it's just a different flavor. Oh
Like
jeez. Oh, but
real
like
life is like original Oreos, and like you go into the internet and it's like double stuff Oreos. It's just
Oh yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
absolutely.
I feel
I
like
bought some like a week ago, and I'm still they're really nice.
But Greta,
Ario's good.
Any
I
thoughts
was
on
gonna
this?
say because you were like talking about Twitch streams and exposure and stuff, and like as an artist, one of the best ways to learn is to watch other artists and try and figure out how they're doing things. And like I watch Jim Lee's streams, the current artist on One Punch Man. If you go on YouTube, he does
Oh, that's
live streams.
Yusuke Murata, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and I just like I'm like, oh, let me see them techniques. Like let me steal them, please. But yeah, I've learned so much through the internet. Like
And it's
2009, like how to draw anime on
and
YouTube.
it's just cool to see how open a lot of artists are to just share their passion and share what they want to do and teach other people. Because I found this painter recently. His name is Marco Bucci. He because of him, I've been trying to learn how to paint digitally, and he has tutorials from 10 years ago that still hold up today because it's all about the fundamentals and the
Yeah,
resources
like
that he had access
Cynic
to.
Design, Psychra, what is his name? Cynic Design, and then there's like Psychra and like the Jetty Jets show.
Oh yeah. I heard of that.
Also, wait, fandom on the internet? Like you can follow trends and you can gain traction through that. You can draw fan art and be like, "This is my Naruto character. Please like him." And then people will be like, "Yo, I love Naruto." Or like, "I know
That's
Greta
actually
draws
insanity,
Sonic."
yeah, because you can just cling to a fan base and immediately get popular. I'll segue to this to let Greta speak. The Sonic fan base. Go.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay,
Here we go.
Okay, so when I started my Instagram account, Instagram was the first thing I've ever like gotten traction from. And the first thing I drew, fan art. Because mainly I was not comfortable with uploading my own original characters mostly because I couldn't form their stories into words. But when I just expanded from that, I kind of just gave up and I just give everyone this like the slightest bit of like context to their character. I want to keep doing that, but I couldn't have gotten my like the popularity I have right now because how I mainly got popular. Another like thing is a hat in time.
I remember that.
A lot of people
Yeah.
found me through that, and it was surreal as God.
Well, didn't the official developers notice you at some point?
They saw they saw the collab I did with Icaric and Oliver Jokes.
And Oliver, yeah.
That's amazing.
And like I don't know, we just got on the official like Discord as like a I don't know how to describe it, but like
I thought it was really cool.
and I was like freaking out because I was like, this never happened to me before. Like I have no idea to like made this.
That's honestly interesting because sticking to fandom on the internet does get a lot of traction. I mostly post fan art because I'm not yet comfortable sharing like original stuff or until I actually make the story. I don't feel like sharing like little doodles from time to time my character saying like, here, just keep waiting. I'd rather just have it be like a big thing when they first get announced, my characters.
I'm kind of the opposite because I feel like so much pressure trying to draw fan art. I'm just like, if I draw my own characters, only I know what they're supposed to look like. And like, if I mess up, only I really know. Like, I kind of feel like it's also kind of like selfish in that way because like I want to be famous for the things that I draw. Like, bruh, I want somebody to announce my movie that I made.
Well, does everyone really want that?
People are going to have
absolutely.
Well, people are going to be a lot more critical when it comes to something that doesn't belong to you. Like,
yeah,
if you're drawing a character that belongs to someone else, then of course many people are going to look at it in a very critical manner.
Well, yeah, that's where the internet also comes into play because, like, being an artist on the internet and posting fan art is a dangerous game because if you do something that just doesn't appeal to people at all, they will just completely ravage you.
Yeah, or like if you just try to like younger artists who make like self-insert characters or like, oh, this is like I imagine this would happen in a comic, like they'll get like harassed. And I like
Everyone,
see it all the time. And it just like
everyone would call them
why would you do that?
cringe.
Oh my god, no.
It's disheartening sometimes because the internet can be a great place to find people and share your work, but at the same time, it's so hard to justify it to by seeing the way some people treat others.
There's this one girl, she was like a Tumblr artist and she was like drawing like Steven Universe fan art or something, and people harassed her to the point where like had to be put in like a hospital like for her mental
Wait,
health.
was she the one who drew like Rose Quartz too skinny in one of those drawings?
I don't
Yeah,
remember.
I've heard about that.
This was like years ago, but like things like that, or like this one girl, like there are a couple artists I follow who drew Hatsune Miku for Pride Month, and like
Yeah.
kept getting their account reported, and people would like harass them in the comments. They had to like turn off the comments, and I was like, bruh, like y'all know about Hatsune Miku because she's pretty queer, like.
Yeah, but it's like that actually helps me segue onto another point of like the fan media online. Fan media is also a great place to create something new out of something old and established.
Dragon Ball Z Bridge.
That's one of the things. That's like a really good example of fan media being just so polished and well done to the point where it seems like it could be an official release product. But there's also stuff like what was it? Oh yeah, The Simpsons. I read this series recently called Marge Simpson's Anime. It's a series of watercolors about Marge Simpson's existential crisis after the death of Ned Flanders' wife. And it's just so bizarre and odd, and I couldn't help but love it because I realized that the person that made it still had an earnest love for what The Simpsons has always been. And I just find there's some kind of beauty to seeing other people create something based on something else and being able to put it anywhere they want and have people see it, even the official creators.
Yeah. You said fan media, I immediately thought of Sonichu for some reason, but like
no.
that's not that doesn't
That's the wrong kind of fan media. Well, there isn't really a wrong, I would say, but it's more so like the fan media we don't talk about anymore.
Yeah, we don't talk about.
But yeah, honestly, what's another pro you guys could think of being online? Like, what makes you realize that being online is awesome?
Well, okay, so I think I gained a lot of confidence in my like art when I started posting on Instagram and like, stuff. I feel like in real life I have a lot of trouble talking to people, and I can't make friends that easily. But like on the internet, it allowed me to like be confident in like what I draw, and like if people want to follow me because of my art, I just love them for that. Like it's just that's
actually really, really well put, I'd say. Yeah.
I feel like a lot of artists are like people, especially who are deep into like nerd fandoms, like when like you're in real life and you're attempting to like talk to people or like show them a thing that you're passionate about, you're like, oh god, oh no. But like on the internet,
absolutely.
I can do whatever the heck I want. Like I'm like, oh, hey guys, look at this new anime.
A big pro, I would say,
in
would
real
be,
life. Just sorry to interrupt you. I'm just gonna
Oh,
add
fine,
one
it's fine.
last little funny tangent. In real life, I am scared to go an hour-long tangent about why I think Team Fortress 2's art style is the best in the world. Online, I could write just 50,000 words about it, and someone would care.
Yeah, tell me about it.
But all right, Emile, you were segueing on to a next point. Please go ahead.
Yeah, so I think a big pro from being an artist on the internet is that over time you develop this fan base that shares very common interests with you. Especially when, well, I mean, for example, when I drew cars, tons and tons of car enthusiasts were starting to follow me because I was starting to draw things that they liked. And so over time, I've established, this group of people that all share one thing in common, and I kind of like this this feeling of having this interest in common and being included in a demographic because you share a certain interest.
It's almost kind of like a safe zone for you, like a safe haven to just go to and be comfortable with.
Yeah.
It's reassuring knowing that even if in real life some people might not care, you can just go online and someone will care.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not genuine, but if it makes you feel good in the moment, sometimes it's all that it might be worth, you know?
Yeah.
You were talking about like that may not be genuine, but like makes you feel good in the moment, and like I was thinking, it made me think of like likes, like the internet algorithm. How
Oh my
Yeah.
god, yeah, that's actually a great topic to segue onto for bads and
Yeah.
goods. Likes and numbers and followers. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, because like it's really easy to look at like I feel like I always hear people on the internet who have like a crap ton of followers be like, just post like good content. And then people will find it. Dummies. Duh. And I'm like, what do you mean? What is that supposed to mean? What is good content?
You
Or
have no
like,
understanding how the universe we operate in works, do you, John?
Do you, John?
Yeah.
But it's like people saying that only good content will get you noticed is not true because the internet is a guessing game. One day they'll
Yeah.
like something, one day they won't, and when you post something, something may get 20,000 likes. The other time it might get 2.
Yeah, I agree.
Two
So the
people.
idea of like, were you gonna say
Sorry,
something?
just 2 people could post the exact same image or piece of content, and yet one would probably get more popular than the other simply because of the person who posted it.
Yeah, oh my god, art
Absolutely.
theft.
Yeah, but
I
let's
was
not
gonna
talk about that
say,
right now. We'll save that for cons. Just keep going with likes
yeah,
and stuff
Yeah.
right now.
I was gonna say, it's definitely cool, like getting likes and stuff, but it's kind of this is kind of a con. But I'll like talk about the good part of it, and then we can get on to like cons later on. But, like,
Yeah.
sometimes like I'll be like, oh, this is just a pretty dumb sketch. I'll like post it on my Instagram story or something, and then somebody will reply to it and be like, I like this. This is good, and then I'll be like, oh, okay, or something like that. I guess
Thanks.
if you're an artist, like you don't like don't like other people aren't in your head, so like they'll see something you make, even if you think it's just like a dumb sketch or whatever, and they'll be like, wow, this is amazing. Or like getting a comment on a YouTube video or something. Sometimes the comments on my YouTube videos are pretty funny. It'll just be like some 12-year-old being like, yeah, Five Nights at Freddy's is really cool. Or sometimes it's like, nice video, really liked, and then like I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, people on the internet are watching the stupid videos I make. Like
Yeah.
super surreal.
Yeah, well,
Well,
it's
the
feels
thing that
surreal.
really gets my hopes up the most when it comes to posting art is the comments. It's not really about the likes that I care that much about. It's mostly about the people that actually take the time to write something on there.
Oh, I can absolutely see that.
Yeah, because
Acting is like,
I'll feel like their appreciation is much more genuine when they actually write something on the post and tell me what I should improve on, what I did really well in that sketch, or what they genuinely think about this drawing. It helps me grow as well. It helps me grow my art style into something better and into something I find more refined. When
But that's
when
but
in reality I would have not been through that if it weren't for the audience I have right now.
But the thing is with comments like that, comments are like the ultimate middle ground of the internet because they're not a set determined value like reshares or likes would be. Comments can be anything the commenter wants it to be, and it could be an addition to the creative process, like being told that you're doing good, having additions, advice, maybe someone just encouraging you on or telling you that you suck and how you can improve. Sometimes the bluntness would be welcome for some creators online. And I just think that looking at all the negatives that comments can have isn't a fair judgment and saying comments are all bad because some people will actually take the time and just energy out of their day to actually think of something that could help you out more so than just something to put you down or make you feel good for a momentary instance. One comment, as stupid as it sounds, could change your entire view on your creative process.
yeah.
Hmm.
I feel like, I don't know, I feel like the way our brains work is like you can get like 1,000 really good comments, and then as soon as somebody's like, your art sucks, you're trash, like you just can't not think about it. Like, where did I go wrong? What did I do? So
Because
like,
because
Yeah.
a wave of positivity can immediately be crashed by one piece of negativity.
it's really hard because like we were talking about before, like the internet is kind of an extension of real life. In real life, you interact with people and like you can read their body language, you like know you can like talk to them, know where they're coming from. But on the internet, that could just be it. Like this person could just come and be like, "You suck," and then just like leave. Like,
you suck.
and you're like,
I'm
what
going to get
did
some
I do?
cigarettes. I absolutely agree with that. That's really fair, honestly.
Yeah. I feel like I like interacting with people on the internet, but I can never like sometimes I'd like make a joke in real life and I'm like, can this person tell I'm being ironic or like can they tell that I'm like being sarcastic? Can they tell I'm just vibing?
Because you can't read emotion through text.
Yeah, oh my god.
I mean, you can't really read emotion through text if it's other than when it's like complete, utter random crap. Like
Exclamation
having,
mark on there. That means I was.
yeah.
Come on. Like for reading a Hello?
Yeah, it was cutting for a bit.
That
Oh.
was.
I was like, am I the only person I can hear this?
It's fine. I'll edit it out, and I'll keep in the part. Say I'll edit that part out. But yeah, just keep going. I've talked enough. I want to hear you guys speak a bit.
Yeah. Oh, but yeah, I mean, we might. I might talk about a little con here.
Oh, please do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can move on to cons.
Let's do it.
Negatives are good.
Yes. Yeah. Can I just mention how goddamn scary it is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like every time I have to post something, I just think about it. Like, will anyone think of this one sketch I make and say, "This artist is doing good," or am I doing something that's helping me grow as an artist?
Yeah. No, yeah,
Because
it's
having
always
an audience that can be so critical and harsh on oneself can actually, be really scary. It can be stressful.
You have like a million people that could be watching you, and none of them have to take responsibility for like what they're doing.
yeah, because it can all be put on you afterwards. It's the fault of
Yeah.
you if your audience
Yeah.
isn't doing
And
the good
actually,
stuff.
funny thing, I mean, internet historian mentioned this experiment where
Yeah.
it was like a bunch of people were like controlling this guy's day, and and the entire audience wore a mask, and with their cell phones they could decide whether this guy goes out for a drink or goes and takes the bus and goes home, and so on. And many of the audience members actually voted for like the bad stuff because they had they were
A mask
completely
on.
anonymous. And
And
on the
that's where
internet, it's kind of like the same thing because people are going to take a lot less responsibility for their actions because they're kind of protected behind this profile they have.
Yeah.
No, but that's absolutely true because when we're not forced to show who we are online, we can just give a forced perception of who we want to appear as. It allows us to manipulate a lot of what we may say into being this kind of separate person entirely because of the ideas of profiles in general.
Yeah, I agree.
In
I
a
feel like
Go ahead.
go
No,
Oh,
go ahead.
I was kind of gonna move on to another point.
Go ahead, Dylan.
I was gonna say one of the things that spooks me about making like posts is I'm always scared that I misspelled something. So anytime I like write something out, I like have to read it 60 times. Then I'm like, this is all spelled wrong. This is all spelled wrong.
Oh,
Yeah.
I send it to like 50 people, and like, it's so nerve wracking to me.
What about those points where like you post a drawing and you notice the one time you smudged on one corner of the piece that you didn't notice when you were uploading it?
dude, that is like the definition of infuriating. If I were to make a dictionary, I would just put this one image below the definition of insanity or like or like anger.
Like,
I'll
you're
just
talking
put the
about
image below below pain.
Yeah, but you talked about like it being scary to even go on the internet, and I think there's an interesting topic to come up with anxiety of artists, and that's the anxiety of living up to the to the pursuit of other artists' glory.
Oh yes.
Mm.
Oh my
We're the
God.
next generation, and eventually we're going to be replacing all those who
Yes.
came before us. And do we really think we have what it takes to make it? Because all of those old creators are on social media now. A lot of
I
them,
think about it all the time. I
and
think about like
we get to be compared to them, and we get to look at them and how they keep succeeding. And we like to think that one day we'll make it there, but we don't know if we ever will have enough motivation to take the time to make it there.
Well,
yeah,
at the moment, it feels just like a dice roll,
Yeah.
whether you'd make it there or not, because there are so many variables that comes to your motivation, your productivity, your work schedule, like your entire mindset on how you approach the time you take to actually draw can just come down to like a simple little. There's just so many things that can affect how you end up in the end.
Yeah, and the problem is just how we compare ourselves to other people. We like to say like we always look at the end result, but not how each person had to get there.
yeah,
We all
Mm.
live different lives, and we all go through different conditions that may stunt our work or stunt our growth for a bit. And we have to realize that sometimes we have to live through those hard times and go through that process to maybe not get there as fast as some people. In art,
yeah.
there's no such thing as a peak. And anyone who believes there is, I find, just hasn't really realized that they can just keep going forever with art. So never think that just because you're not at a point.
Emile has died.
But like, what was I on about again? Sorry.
No peak in art.
Yeah, you can't really peak in art, and it's hard to sometimes come to the grips that you're not going to be at the same place as someone else in the same place in time, unfortunately. Even
Yeah,
if you
I
look at,
mean,
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I always think about like you brought up a really good point in saying like we're the next generation of artists. I always think about that. Like, I remember watching interviews like Jim Lee or like reading about how like Akira Toriyama, and, like these people were being watched, like, for like, social media wasn't a thing for them back then. So sure, they didn't have the ability to like as much of an audience at such a young age. Like, if one of my favorite creators like got discouraged because somebody said something to them on the internet, like there wasn't all of that back then. It was just mainly people doing it for fun. But I feel like while social media makes it so like you can get a larger reach, it also kind of like makes things a little more corporate and like sterile. Like I have to post
Mm.
this on this day to get this many likes. I have to draw this because more people will like it. And you're like,
Oh, I
sometimes
hate the idea of scheduling a post. Oh,
yeah.
Oh my god,
Sometimes
yeah.
it becomes a game of like how many likes can I get? How many more followers can I get based off of like what I draw and when I post it and stuff like that, instead of just like I'm just doing this for fun because it's like a thing I'm passionate about. Like Akira Toriyama said, like he's always just drawing things that he thought like
looked
kids
cool.
would enjoy, or like I'm like, bruh, like sometimes it's so easy to lose that when you're trying to like you're so worried, like, oh, I have to be successful, I have to get people to notice my art.
Then we realized that the people that came before us didn't really have to try that hard to get noticed because they were just kind of doing what they loved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, does anyone who hasn't like Emil and Greta, you guys haven't talked as much as being stars. So, if you want, you guys can take over the discussion for a bit.
All right.
I
I
guess
mean,
I could
say so.
I could segue into okay, so I guess it is a con, but like so you know how I started my entire account around fan art
Yeah.
Yes.
trying to post a lot of like original stuff, but like when people follow me when I was like really into Hat in Time or like something like that, people only follow me because I only post that kind of content. And it really disheartened me, and like I didn't, because at that time A Hat in Time was slipping away from me because there was not like enough content for me to like keep interacting with it. I love the series still. I love it to this day. Like I can't keep posting about it. It's just gonna get stale after a while. And like when I get a huge drop in followers, it really like I don't know. It just makes me sad. And like if like something I have is original and it's just doesn't do as well as something that I made for fan art, what's the point? If this is going to be I want it to be my career in like some fashion, but like if nobody wants to be there for me, and it's just, I don't know. It's just, it got me all riled up one night, and it's just like I felt like such a I felt super like mean to call out the people who only follow me for thing and not not there me as an individual, and only there for the content I create that I supply to a larger fan base. Like,
Yeah.
it just really angered me super hard. Like, ugh.
Well,
I can
it actually made me
understand that.
think of this concept that when actually be like changing the type of content you post is incredibly scary, because if your fan base follows you because, as you said, like they followed you for a hat and time content, and then you switch that completely. I mean, for me, I don't know how I don't really see myself stopping to draw cards, because so many people that follow me because of that. So it is a lot of pressure to take in, because you don't know what's going to happen if you change the type of content you're already making.
Yeah.
And like, I can actually give an example on this, and I don't think I would be making many friends by making this comparison. But the Dragon Ball community is full of artists who have been drawing Dragon Ball for like 5, 7 years, and all they draw is Dragon Ball. And I feel like once they move on from that series, they're kind of going to lose themselves a bit. Because when
Yeah.
you lose yourself in this world of just 500 chapters of manga, a few episodes of anime, and you just keep trying to find spurt content out of it for as long as you can, I just can't imagine reading something that dry. I always want to keep moving on, seeing what else I can create. And that's why the idea of original content is so alluring to a lot of artists and not necessarily their audience, because you can make whatever you want of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like it's that's like also one of the like things that comes with like being a social media artist is like if you're just drawing like for fun, like sure you probably have aspirations of becoming an artist, but like let's think like 30 years ago, if you were just drawing just to draw, like you wouldn't have to be thinking about like, oh no, if I just keep posting fan art, then nobody's gonna care about like art I want to post. There was no like posting. It was just like, yeah, these are my sketchbooks, and maybe I'll go to art school or I'll send a portfolio somewhere one day.
Yeah. It was a lot simpler before, but at the same time, the innovation of the modern world has given us tools that makes it a lot better, even with coming with those cons, because every good has to be countered in some way.
I feel like definitely, especially because like we were talking about earlier, like masks on the internet. There are like some really good artists that I found on the internet, and they're like 10. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, a 13-year-old recently followed me on Instagram. I looked at his art. It's like it's above like everyone I'm friends with, and it's kind of scary to see how good this 13-year-old was at like rendering
Yeah.
stuff in Procreate.
I'm
It scared me.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes I'm like really like, oh wow, like I feel like good about the stuff that I'm making, and then I like go on the internet and I see someone else's art and they're like same age as me and they draw 5 times as much and they're doing like full scale digital paintings with backgrounds, and I'm like, okay, maybe I'm not that
Fine,
cool.
fine,
Yeah.
fine then.
And you know what I find really ironic is that there's like this saying that when you compare yourself to others, you like reassure yourself. That is the complete opposite on the internet, because the amount of people that I look at it this way. You'll never be the worst. You'll never be the best. But it's always good to
Yeah.
be in between, because you always know that there's going to be someone better than you, and you always know that there's going to be some people that are worse than you.
Yeah, but the
So
idea of someone always being better than you is like I remember we were in class once and we had to read a passage from Kevin Hart's autobiography where he
yeah,
talked
well,
about how passionate people, instead of looking at each other as a sign of whether or not you're failing in comparison, everyone should look at each other as a gateway or a point in reference to keep going, and everyone should just use that to motivate each other to keep
yeah.
going higher.
Well, it is a very good motivational tool to have someone better than you, because
Yeah.
then you would want to be on the same level as them. I mean that was literally the case with you, Ali. Like when I started drawing in like sec one,
Yeah.
I was not feeling good about my art. Actually, I was not really that satisfied with it, and so I said, "How do I get better?" I mean, I saw your art and I was like freaking amazed because
I look back at my secondary one art and I
yeah.
absolutely hate it.
Don't worry,
2017,
don't worry.
2017 Ale was a different beast. Actually, even back to a year ago, I hate some of my drawings from even a year ago now.
Even
God,
that?
he was a I was a cringe ass nay baby last year.
Nay, baby. Oh
Yeah,
my god.
don't worry about it. But like, I look back like almost April 6th, 2019. I made a Spider-Gwen drawing. I was so happy with that drawing that last year. Now I look at it and I'm like, what the hell was I doing?
I feel like, yeah, but like with social media, like I've seen your art. Like I'm not in your head. I just like look at you guys' art and I'm like, yo, like this is so cool. What the heck? And I feel like when you're on the internet, there's kind of like an unhealthy balance of people looking at you and an unhealthy balance of the mass amount of people. It kind of feels empty because like, okay, let's say you go to like an art school, you get acquainted with the people who like are better than you. And so it kind of takes some of the pressure off. Like if they're like a chill person and they're willing to sit down and be like, yeah, this is how I learned how to do this. Like it's fine. But like when you're on the internet, it just kind of is like being in a giant room of a bunch of people you don't know, and they're all like,
and who don't care about you.
yeah,
Yeah.
you'll never be able to connect with them. So you just kind of you feel bad about your own art, even though you don't know these people and they don't know you. They're just doing, and they probably feel bad about their art. It's such a weird cycle.
Yeah, because I've become friends with an artist who's like leagues above me, and I thought I would just be scared of him the entire time because he's such a his art is absolutely fantastic, and yet whenever I speak to him, it's such a chill experience because he's always just like being like, hey, you like art, cool, I like art too. Let's just enjoy it together instead of focusing on how far our skill gap is. We kind of just exist in the same passion while supporting each other. I think it's really
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. Oh, can I? Oh, can I also mention collabs?
Oh God, yeah. Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, collabs.
I never finish any of them. What a surprise!
No, you don't, fella.
No, I don't. You, Emile, you would especially know because we've tried multiple
Yes,
times.
we have tried on multiple occasions. We have not succeeded.
No,
Haven't really collabs with anyone. I have like ideas of things that I'd want to do, but I'm like, I have like 3 followers. Like maybe like make like a Zine or something, but I'm like, bro, like nobody's gonna buy this.
that's not true. I'd buy your sign.
Give me your money. Give me your money right now.
Okay, fine. You want to? Yeah. Well, guess what? When we get advertisers, then I can give you money. You'll get a cut.
Soon as legends. Some like blacklist us just because like we're so adamant about it.
Oh no, they don't do that. I don't think the people that run the company speak English.
My God.
It's probably
We
just
get
owned
put
by.
on the blacklist because of you. I'll cry. I'll start like sobbing on the podcast. You wouldn't want that.
Oh, that's great.
Wait,
Every
okay.
advertiser
I just
drops us because we're all children.
I was thinking about this earlier. Do you ever like? Are you ever like attentive to the people who follow you, who like actually like your posts and view your story and stuff? And you
Yes.
realize one of them,
Yes.
yeah, you realize like one of them stops, and you're like, "What did I do? What did I say? Where are you okay?"
Yes. I am very attentive of my regulars.
Yes.
Yeah. Love my regulars.
My God.
Like when I see
just
someone
love
just
everyone that
stop
wants my story
liking my
because
post, I'm like, oh, there it goes.
When
There it
when
goes.
one of my regulars just
Into
leaves
the
my
void.
account and I see the unfollowed me, I just start doing the Spider-Man 2 crying scene. I just enter that mode because it kills me. I'm like, what did I do wrong?
Yeah, I'm like, is it something I posted on my story? Like, can we talk about it? Can you please come back?
Because
Please
when you
don't
feel like
leave
you've
me.
done something wrong, you just tell yourself, maybe I am a monster.
I'm just here making the
You're die a
content I
hero,
want.
or you live long enough to become the villain.
I think you and I are destined to do this forever, I said to my regular. He just left.
Oh no.
It's such like an impersonal thing too, because like
Yeah.
sometimes like the algorithm just like doesn't like I'll have like this artist I follow and I'm like, yo, I really like their art, and then I just don't see it for like weeks because of the algorithm.
And then
Like,
realized, oh, they
what
posted
the heck is
15
their name?
times.
I'll have to like go through my likes and like try and find them. There's
Yeah.
so many followers that I remember from like years ago, and they would like comment on my post and like view my story and sometimes DM me, and their accounts are just gone, and I'm like, what happened? There's this one girl who like she was always like, oh, I have to be really good at piano because my parents are gonna be disappointed in me if I'm not good at piano, and then she'd be like, your art is nice, can you please listen to me play piano on my live stream so that my parents don't yell at me? And I would be like, oh, like, okay.
Yeah, that's honestly peer pressure. Because it's like someone holding you at gunpoint, being like, "Hey, I supported you. How about you support me, friend?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Equivalent exchange.
It's
The
like
law of
that.
the equivalent exchange, of course.
It's like that steamed hams parody, where the reanimated one. Whereas
Oh my
you
god,
just see
don't talk
Seymour just
about
hold a
that.
gun to the superintendent.
No, I said steamed hams.
Steamed hams.
Yeah, God. Honestly, we're gonna do a whole podcast episode. Emile, you and me, we're gonna do a whole side episode, like an episode 2.5 or something. We're gonna do an entire episode about steamed hams and why it's comedic art. Okay?
Absolutely.
On
Absolutely.
God.
I will
On
join
God, let's
you on
go.
that. Tops.
Collab voiceover Steve had, or like they collab animated it.
Yeah. People reanimated the entirety of steamed hams with a different animator every 13 seconds, and it was incredible.
Yes.
Amazing.
Wait, guys, that's an awesome segue. Collabs. We touched on them a bit on personal collabs, but collabs are actually a legitimately amazing thing online.
Yeah.
When you see a bunch of people just come together and mash all their different ideas in a way that doesn't work, but it does anyway.
I've come to realize, though, like I like doing art trades, but now I'm a little more like weary of them because I'm like, wait a minute, this is kind of just free art. There's been a couple times in the past where somebody's like, oh, like let's do an art trade together, and then I'll be like, well, I've sketched out your part, and then they just don't reply. I'm like, hello.
I had a YouTuber. I'm not gonna mention him by name because he has 700,000 subscribers. I applied to do art for his thumbnails, and he actually messaged me back. And he was super chill about it. He's like, hey, I want you to do a thumbnail for next week's episode. He never got back to me with the description. It's been 4 months since then. I'm just very sad now.
You should message him, be like, hey. I feel like being assertive is like really hard, but like
because you're like, hello, I draw. You make the actual content. Yeah.
Oh my god. Somebody was recently doing like, oh, like artist shout outs or something like that. And I like they were like, oh, message me and I'll like put you on the queue. And I like messaged them like, hey, is there like a deadline for this? And they were like, no, I just need this, and this information. And then I like got busy and didn't reply, and then I just like felt really weird about it. And it's been like a couple of weeks now, and I just haven't replied to their DM.
God. Yeah. I sometimes just leave people in the dark for weeks on end, and I feel so bad, but at the same time, I don't want to communicate false hope.
Yeah. I mean, there was this one guy that I actually define him as the mad lad. Steve-O, you might know him from Jackass. He said this that his entire like work ethic is that always under promise and always overachieve.
Yeah.
Valid.
Always undersell yourself and then make yourself look better because it makes yourself look better. But the problem is I don't want to keep underselling myself because I'm amazing. And I can say that because we're on a podcast online.
Yes.
Everyone else on YouTube except us sucks, and we can say that.
The best YouTubers.
Honestly, though, we've got like a bit more time left on the episode. We can kind of just like close this off with like a few random topics. And I think we've gone over what most of us think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like overall, internet good and bad because it make us feel bad even if we do good.
I feel like it's mainly comes down to the fact that it's like a very things on the internet that happen affect you really personally, but it's a very depersonal thing. It's really hard to detach yourself from something you're so passionate about that other people on the internet maybe look at for 30 seconds.
We're attached to data that is just firing through servers.
Yep, Facebook is controlling our lives. So is Apple. Disney is the mouse is everywhere.
Yeah, we are the House of Mouse.
We're slaves to the mouse.
The media has entered my brain. I can't get it out.
Don't forget, we also live on a planet made of cake. So,
oh my god,
Wait.
this podcast,
It's
it's
all
really
cake?
Sorry,
cake.
guys. I gotta go. I gotta go eat that
this
cake.
podcast is what? Sorry, what did you say?
Just cake.
It's the podcast is just cake. Always has been. I'm probably just gonna like put instead for like an episode like on April Fools. I'll just upload like the w.wave file, the .wave file of a picture of cake, and just have that be the podcast episode.
That meme still be relevant a year from now?
Oh, trust me, trust me, it won't. But I'll do it anyway.
Just be a dead man. You're just like, guys, look.
No, I still quote cereal when halves milk in 2020. Don't even try me.
God damn it,
I know
Alan!
you had, like, a weird
No,
face.
don't do that.
Cereal with halves milk, cereal with no milk. It's so funny. It's peak comedy, guys. I
Saw you
swear.
on your Twitter
Tell me
timeline.
good.
The world is going on.
I had a breakdown with that image.
I was going insane. I'm gonna just.
I kind of just want to redraw that image, but it's just. I just think it's.
And then he pulls out a comically large spoon.
Okay, that's the thing about the internet we can talk about. 21st century humor. Oh my god.
Oh my god, you
Find
have
a
to
boom
even
sound
know.
effect
I
number
saw
one.
a meme. It was like, "Are you winning, son?" But it
Are
was
ya
like, "Are
winning,
you
son?"
son?" And, like, then it kept accelerating to more and more references. And like, if you have not been on the internet, you don't know.
That's the thing. You miss so much
Hey,
lore
guys.
from not being internet for one day.
Get Wi-Fi anywhere you go.
Hold up. Dun, 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 dun. And like, there's also like, what was a recent meme that I
Yo, the
oh,
pizza
yeah.
here.
For some reason, a clip was uploaded from the Teen Titans Go movie where Robin said, "Picture my booty up in 3D."
Oh my god, my booty, it's
and that became the best meme of June 2020. To the point where the official like Teen Titans Go movie account acknowledged the meme in their story.
What?
Yeah, I love it. I love
God.
it.
Yeah.
I love when things like that
Yeah.
happen.
Memes are just
Love,
so
like-
bad.
Series is aware of its fandom. Like, it has to be to
Yeah.
a certain extent.
Well, yeah, absolutely. You don't just want a creator to be disconnected from anything from the people that enjoy their work. Even though the internet and just in general content creation is a very personal thing, but like you said, also disconnected from everyone else. The people that go an extra mile to interact with the people that enjoy their work that's kind of just like the peak for me.
Yeah. One of my favorite examples, I'm just gonna say the Harley Quinn show is like the best thing DC's making right now. Anyway.
Ooh, have you watched season 2?
Yes, oh my god. Anyway, hold on. But when that one episode started off with two like sweaty guys on the couch being like, "Bring the Snyder cut," and I was like, "Oh, haha, teehee, they really hitting them out here." And then it really became a thing.
Yeah, we're actually getting the Snyder cut next year. We won, guys. We did it.
And
Oh god, we always win because I always come back.
people like telling the Sonic movies creators like, "Hey, this kind of ugly," and then being like, "Aight, let me fix it. It's good." But people being
Yeah,
like,
that's what I
would have been better."
want.
Jesus Christ,
That's
no.
what I want from literally everyone else.
You learn a lesson from seeing people improve themselves. So I think we're about wrapped up here. Anyone have any closing notes they'd like to add? Anything, just a message, a hope for the viewers that stayed till the end?
Keep calling.
Hello, everybody. My name is Markiplier, and welcome back to 5
All right,
Minutes.
you're never coming back for another episode. You're done here.
Banned. Exile.
But
No,
yeah,
but
so
still,
this
it
was
was really
really
fun.
this
It was really
this
fun.
was really good, guys.
Absolutely,
I
yeah.
very much
Oh,
enjoyed
we should
this.
probably talk about our social medias.
No,
Oh,
it's
that's a
okay.
good
Well,
idea.
they'll all be plugged in the description, and they're also going to be included on the image. That's going to be like for our video viewers in this episode.
It would work.
But everyone,
thank you.
all the guests here, I'm not going to mention my social medias. Everyone else, plug yourselves quickly.
Huh?
Emile, mention your social medias. Go.
Oh, follow me on Instagram at Emilenator. It's literally my name on screen.
Yep.
So that's not so hard. Yeah,
Greta.
that's pretty much it.
Follow
Go.
Quixotic.Aesthete on Instagram, GooberThed on Twitter, and Resonating Timed on DeviantArt. Those are the only things you can actually know. I don't know.
Yeah. And finally, Star.
Oh, Starrkiddo, YouTube, Instagram, maybe
And
Twitter.
Instagram. And Instagram.
Instagram.
God, I can't wait for the quote unquote artist Facebook group. It's gonna be great.
Oh my god. Guys, subscribe to our Patreon to join the quote unquote artist Discord if you want to be.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go to Walmart to pick up some Shroud cappuccino.